All right, what it do, YouTube? Welcome back to Perks Pod Podcast. I have the mic going, video going. I'm on live on TikTok. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet today, since my last one was a little on the longer side. I had someone reach out to me and ask me a little bit about kind of working on self, which is crazy because that's actually what I've been very heavy on for the past few weeks. This most recent week, especially. So, first of all, if you're watching this video, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Click that like button on the video. Don't cost you a dime. I would love it if you do that for me. I'm not into long intros, so I'm just going to get into it. So, today's podcast is basically just going to be about talking about self-improvement, about my own journey when it comes to self-improvement, what I've done so far, some of the advice that I've gotten, and then some of the advice I want to give to anyone out there that wants to further themselves as far as becoming a better person. So one thing I do want to start off with is don't be afraid to start small. A lot of people, when they want to get into new things, when they want to get into improvement, such as, I don't know, diet or financial improvement, physical improvement, I'll say there's four things: physical, financial, spiritual, and emotional. So if you improve one of those four things, at least a little bit, during the day, it is not a wasted day. And I stand by that. Doesn't matter by how much, doesn't matter how big. If you improve any one of those or all of them, if you're feeling a little extra energy that day, if you improve on one of those things during the day, it is not a wasted day. You could lay in your bed for, I don't know, 8, 9 hours, but if you get up and go work out for 30 minutes, I don't believe you completely wasted your day. Now, yes, there's a lot of time that you did spend in that bed, but as far as wasting the day away and have not completed anything, that 30 minutes is very important to your consistency and what you continue to do as you move forward. Recently, I have started a membership at one of the new gyms that opened up in the city, Crunch Fitness in Warner Robins. And my homeboy was going there just about every day. He was like, dude, you need to check it out, blah, blah, blah. I went there as a guest one day. Immediately, I got my membership the next day. Ever since then, I have been going at least 6 days a week, if not every day of the week. Now, I've only been going there for 2 weeks, so yeah, it's not like I've been going to the gym like nonstop for a year. I plan on doing so, but already within the 2 weeks that I've been going, I have noticed a very big change in my energy level, and just how I look physically, and just my own confidence and happiness with myself and where I'm going. And the thing that really helped push it forward was the fact that I had a friend that was in that gym that encouraged me to, didn't push for me to join. I mean, he kind of did, but the first thing he did was encourage me to just come and experience it for a day. I did, got hooked, and was like, all right, bet. So I'm gonna keep coming. When you have someone to help keep you accountable, and not necessarily accountable, but just to give you that extra push to, help keep you on top of things, it is so helpful. Whether that's your significant other, your best friend, parents, siblings, whatever. If you have someone that's willing to push and encourage you, that does go a long way, no matter how small it is. But the question that the person came to me with was, when do you recommend working on yourself and what does it mean to you? So, when is a very easy and difficult question. When? As soon as possible. As soon as possible. And, one of the quotes, I don't remember exactly who said the quote at first, but one of the quotes is, the second best time, the best time to start is yesterday. The second best time to start is right now. I know that when it comes to starting new things, especially things that are a little more demanding of you, because of course, improvement is never comfortable. It's never the easiest thing in the world. You're going to get physically uncomfortable. You're going to get mentally, emotionally, spiritually uncomfortable. And that's what it's supposed to do, because, pressure builds diamonds. You can't get to the level you want to get to without putting pressure on yourself. So the hardest thing about improvement is starting. Once you get your foot in the door, that process becomes so much easier. Hardest thing about improvement is starting. Just like they say, the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. And if you ever notice people that go through that whole process of cleaning up their act or going through any type of therapy or rehabilitation, is that some people have the hardest time admitting they have a problem, or at least getting their foot in the door with getting said rehabilitation or therapy or what have you. So getting started is the hardest thing when it comes to self-improvement. And like I said, if you have someone to help keep you accountable, keep you on top of things, it makes it so much easier. Now, what does it mean to me? So I have been in every aspect of those 4 things that I said: emotional, spiritual, mental, and financial. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Physical, financial, spiritual, and emotional. Mental kind of goes with spiritual and emotional. With all of those 4 things, I have been rock bottom in all of those categories at least one point in my life, as in my adult life. And the funny thing is, one of them I'm rock bottom now. But anyway, that's another story. When it comes to being at the bottom of those things, you understand, 1, how uncomfortable it makes you. 2, what you really strive to be, or what point in your life that you really strive to get to. And 3, it also shows you a little bit of what kind of character you are. So once you reach that rock bottom, the only place that you can go is up. And also it shows you basically where you can get to, and it shows you where you don't want to get to again. Things like that are easier said than done when it comes to digging yourself out of those holes, or picking yourself back up and getting back to the top of your game, basically. Some are much harder than others, and also depending on the type of person you are. Some people, financial struggles would probably be like the easiest thing for them to get through, and then for others it's the hardest. Like I said, I've been on the bottom of all of those things at one point in time, and when I start improving on myself, and when I start seeing progress compared to where I was, and start seeing myself going to where I want to get to, you fill up with so much confidence, and you fill up with so much joy at the progress that you make, that it almost becomes intoxicating. And the sad part is, I have found myself getting intoxicated by that progress, but then something happening, or me getting into some sort of rhythm that kind of makes me backtrack a little, or I guess take a few steps back and from the direction I was going. And also, that happens a lot. Do not be discouraged if you have a moment where you go backwards. I know that there was also a time in a past relationship where I was asked by my significant other, and they were like, do you feel like things are better than they used to be? And I said, I'm not sure. And my significant other, she was really hurt by this. My girlfriend, she felt like I was saying that the relationship was like failing. And I mean, it eventually did fail. But at that time, I had to explain to her, I was like, there's nothing wrong with having to take 2 steps back to walk 10 steps forward. Because sometimes you reach a wall. Sometimes your face, your eyes down, completely focused on running in a particular direction, and then you hit a wall. And also, with the elephant analogy, you know how they say that if you're right up on the elephant, sometimes the easiest way to see the whole elephant is to back up. You run into that wall, all you see is brick, and all you see is hard wall. But if you take a few steps back, maybe you can see a way around the wall, over the wall, maybe even under the wall. There's always going to be a way to get to it. And sometimes you just have to take those few steps backward to see the entire picture. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you're making any type of progress, and then plus also life, think about life. When you go through life, it's never a steady incline or decline. It's never steady. There's always ups and downs. That's why they say life is like a roller coaster, because it goes up and down a lot. And it's the same way with pacing yourself in your self-improvement. One of the things is you never want to push yourself too hard at one time. The most unrealistic standard or expectation to put on yourself is that you're going to fix all these things at the same time right then and there. No, do not do that. It's like I was telling one of my best friends, he likes to go on fasts where he keeps himself from partaking in certain activities or doing certain things. And then there are times where he tells me, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, and this for the month. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. If you want to make that more realistic, you might want to take like 2 of those things off the list, because if you deprive yourself of everything that you've been doing, you're more likely going to snap back into those habits. And, it's basically the same thing as if, if you have a child and you're trying to teach your child, how to discipline themselves with, I don't know, eating or whatever. And you're like, okay, so, we're getting to that age where, it's good to watch what you eat, of course, be active, of course. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to take a kid from eating 5-course meals his whole life, and then all of a sudden he's eating 1 meal a day. Like, no, you would probably like kill your child, or, deteriorate. Their health would deteriorate if you take them just like from eating 3 to 4 meals every day with snacks in between, and then all of a sudden 1 meal a day. Your child is going to be miserable. What you got to do is you got to cut it back. Give them those same 3-4 meals a day, no snacks. Then move on to, maybe the proper 3 meals a day, no more than 3 meals a day with no snacks. And then, I don't know, if your kid needs to go on the diet, the 2 meals with a healthy snack in between. And you just need to properly find that gradual slope that you need to take yourself on. When I go work out, I know that my body has a lot of potential with strength, endurance, whatever. I didn't work out consistently for a good year. I'm not gonna, like, my max bench used to be, what was it? 245. My max bench, my PR was 245. That means like 1 rep, boom, 245 I can do. I'm not going to go back into the gym for the first time in a year consistently and try to do that same PR, because I'm going to end up hurting myself. My muscles are not used to it because of the fact that I slacked off on weight training so much. I'm probably going to hurt myself. I'm probably going to feel absolutely terrible the following day. So I'm not going to just go off the deep end and, just dive into it full blown. I'm not going to do that. With diets, if you try to be like, okay, one day I'm eating anything and everything I want to eat, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on a diet, boom, nothing but chicken, vegetables, and water, and that's all I drink, all I eat, all the time, blah, blah, blah. You're going to crack. You're not going to keep that up. Like, I won't say not, because some people have done it. Like, it takes so much mental fortitude to actually stick with doing that. So at the beginning, cut out the junk food that you've been eating. Then watch your, carb intake, whatever you're trying to do with your diet. A low carb, high protein, if you're trying to do all that stuff. You got to continuously and gradually build yourself up to it. When you're doing these things and you do them properly and you find your own rhythm to what feels good with gradually improving yourself on whatever it is, you're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're not going to feel like crap. The first few days of working out, of course, I felt absolutely sore. It was hurting, but at the same time, it was at a level to where I was like, dang, this hurts, but it's a good hurt. It wasn't a dang, this hurts. I can barely even move. I can't go to the gym today, because that's what some people mess up on. They go so hard initially that they end up pretty much putting themselves out of commission. So instead of going to the gym every day, they got to take like 2-3 days off because their muscles are so sore they can barely move. It's like that with everything. I've talked a lot about physical stuff. I don't know who is what when it comes to religion, whoever's watching. I'm a Christian man. I grew up Baptist. I have been steadily working on and building my relationship with God. And I feel like I've gotten closer with him the longer I've, been on this earth, and especially in my adult life. I was at a point where I had a lot of questions and a lot of doubts as a teenager, as an older teenager, like in my senior year of high school, seeing a lot of things that made me question my faith and made me question whether it was for me. And then just in my adult life, I had multiple things that happened that made me see things as signs from the man upstairs, and that made me start to realize that, okay, he is watching me, and that there is things that I need to learn from him and from his teachings. So I've built my own personal relationship with God. I'm glad that nobody really forced me to. I feel like my mom did a wonderful job at that, taking us to church, but not forcing her ideologies down our throats, not forcing us to adhere everything to what she believed, and was just like, look, this is the religion. I'm introducing you to what it is. This is what I believe. I want you. I hope that you'll believe in this and follow this path with me, but you should figure things out on your own. And that actually helped me create such a good relationship with God, because I'll tell you right now, I've seen quite a few things and heard things from quite a few people that definitely made me question my belief. Close people that I was close with, and it's just, everything's just a journey. With the whole spiritual thing, I feel like everyone should have some level of spiritualism. Whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in, whatever you do, please believe in something, because I'll tell you right now, in some of those moments where I was at my worst, all the way at the bottom, I was being in touch with my spirituality and learning to build my relationship with God helped save me in some instances. And like I said, no matter what you believe in, I'm not going to tell you what to believe in. I'm going to just tell you what I believe in. Please believe in something. Just have something to hold on to, because people are going to let you down. This world in general is going to let you down. But sometimes in those trying times where everything seems like it's failing you, that faith can help keep you in check, especially when you're on the brink of doing things that you definitely don't need to be doing. I just want to keep that one a little short and simple. Emotionally, I think that a lot of people kind of ignore their emotions, especially on the men's side. Men can be very emotional creatures as well. I'm a very emotional man. I am. However, I am under the belief, whether some people that see this or know me believe me or not, I believe that I have a very strong control over my emotions. I'm a very emotional person. However, I know how to rein my emotions in and to not let it completely judge what I do, say, or think. Now, yes, I have moments of weakness where I let the emotions get the better of me, but I'm human. It is what it is. Emotional strength is something that I think a lot of people need to learn how to gain, especially over themselves. Because I'll say this, ever since being down in Georgia, they may not see it as emotion, but a lot of people down here have no control over their emotions. There's a lot of angry folks down here. There's so many angry people. So many angry people. So many egos, anger, and just overall just aggressive behavior. And It's been a reason why at one point I almost wanted to stop playing basketball, because it was like every time I played ball, we was always running into some kind of ignorance. Someone being ignorant, someone always getting angry, upset, getting too hyped, threatening to fight, threatening to shoot. It's like it was just too much. And I feel like if you could be an adult and learn how to gain some control over your emotions, most of this stuff wouldn't be happening. People wouldn't have to have a horrible time after, having a great time, because you'll go through and, we'll have basketball runs and we'll have like 4 or 5 back-to-back games where we're just having fun, being competitive, everything's chill. And then that one dude comes along. There's a word for him. I'm not going to say it on the podcast. I'm not going to say it. I say it to my friends all the time. There's a word for it. Where certain people, and sadly, certain people of black origin, just show complete ignorance. And it's so frustrating. It hurts. It hurts to see and it hurts to watch. And it's so sad that I've gotten a little expectant of it, just because of how much it goes on. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot blame white people for being on edge around a certain demographic of Negro individuals, because I do that myself. And I'm able to kind of like not blend in, but I'm a social chameleon. I can fit in with a whole bunch of people. I've talked to so many different types, races, all different groups and demographics, and I can fit in with just about all of them. But at the same time, there are certain demographics that individuals that belong to said demographic are a lot easier to take things the wrong way or pop off the wrong way without reasonable excuse. Stupid, dumb. I can go on about that all day. Anyway, what we talk about? Let me talk about physical, emotional, spiritual. Okay, so real quick, I do want to talk about financial improvement. Financial improvement, honestly, is the least important to me. And when I say that, I don't want people to hear that and hear me saying, oh, I don't care about money, or, oh, I don't care about if I'm financially stable. My thing is, with everything that I witnessed, being rock bottom on my physical fitness, my financial capabilities, my emotional awareness, and my spiritual self, I've been rock bottom on all of those. When I say that financial burden is by far the easiest one of those to recover from. And not saying it is easy to do it, but is the easiest out of those, in my personal opinion. Now, I can say that I haven't like drowned myself in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Like that would be ridiculous. But I've experienced a little bit of being in debt, and I've experienced being completely short on money to the point where I'm like scrounging for change. And I'd rather do that than to be completely emotionally shot, spiritually shot, or physically shot. And I also think so at the same time is because also my career, like as an actor, my body, my face, how I look is actually a billboard for my work. It's an advertisement for what I want to do. So, yeah, I guess like being physically in shape helps me with what I want to do. And not everyone is following in careers like that. Like some people are going to work desk jobs for the rest of their life. No judgment. Everyone does their own thing, has their own path. So maybe physical fitness and being all together, up here is not, your biggest concern. But my thing is, even if it wasn't for acting, I want to grow up with a family. I want to grow up with a healthy family. I want to be healthy with my family. And I want to live as long as possible. And if you ask me, taking care of yourself physically is something that too many people, especially people my age, young people, take for granted. Like right now, I wish I could go back in time to my high school self and tell me, dude, make sure you keep stretching. When you leave high school, do not stop stretching. Stretch every day, even if it's for just, a little 5-10 minutes. I don't know, do some yoga or something like that. Because I'll say this, I'm working on getting my physical fitness together. I want to get more flexible. And when I tell you that it's almost sad, the lack of, I guess, movement and the lack of flexibility I have, and especially in some of my major joints, is kind of sad. And because I stopped stretching, I didn't stretch. I didn't listen to my PE teacher when he said you should stretch every day. So things like that, I'll probably have to take years, like 2-3 years, to get back to the flexibility, or to get to the flexibility that I want to. Whereas financially, I could probably put myself in a financially stable situation within the next, 6-7 months if I'm flat broke. So, stuff like that. I think that people also should definitely take into account what priorities they want to set for themselves. Because like I said, other people's priorities are not mine. To me, financial is the easiest and the least worrisome of those four. To you, whoever's watching, it might be something else. And what does it overall mean to me? It means living. It means living and not just surviving. Because I'm sorry, I grew up in this little era that we're in now, where social media and doing things at home, being an entrepreneur, these are things that are now big time careers, things that people actually can really look into doing and working on as they grow up and, come into the field of an entrepreneur and do stuff like this. It wasn't like that for our parents. Like, dude, the biggest social media thing that they really came up on was MySpace. And it was right before some of us were born, right during or a little bit after some of us were born, because I don't know exactly when MySpace was created, but I know that Facebook was founded in either 2001 or 2003. One of those. And I was already born by then. All this social media stuff wasn't a thing for our parents in past generations. And I grew up watching that shift happen. I grew up watching the regular working man and also the evolution that started with YouTube. YouTube started it all. The YouTubers, the pranksters, the YouTube couples, all of them that started doing these things online and getting the revenue through the screens. I watched that happen. And also being who I am, wanting to be an actor, coming up as an actor, and also working the 9-to-5 scene for a few years, that life is not for me. That 9-to-5, it's not in me. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Just get it away from me. I'm not happy. It's I was at one point very financially stable. However, I was pretty much depressed, and I was in a very, very dark spot. And I'd rather have no money and a clean mental than have money and be so sad, depressed, and just feel like I can't do anything, have no energy to do anything. I can't do that. And I refuse to do that. So if you ask me, that's just the kind of time I'm on. I'll never go back to the 9-to-5 scene. And I might work full-time hours for like a week or two, but working an actual 9-to-5, it's for the birds. It's for the birds. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And it is frustrating because some of my older generations, my whole family's military. My parents, my step-parents, my parents' parents, all of them military. And all of them went in, like, if not right out of high school, as really young adults. Like, if I went in when my mom, at the age my mom went in, I would have been, almost a 6-year veteran by now. And the military is not the lifestyle that I wanted for myself. And even my mom didn't want that lifestyle for myself. My dad, on the other hand, kind of did. But when it comes to being that young adult and growing up and having that stability, even my mother, and I don't know about my father because I didn't talk with him as much as far as when he was like young and in the military. But I know that my mother still struggled a bit being in the military with how much they paid her, with all the things that were paid for, with like base housing and stuff like that. And she still struggled a little bit with, especially before my sister was born, when it was just me and my mom. And I didn't go into the military. I didn't get those benefits. I didn't get those things that she got. And yeah, that's my choice. And I could do anything I want in the military. I got a 99 on my ASVAB, so I could literally get any job I wanted to in the military. However, I refused to put myself there. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did, because if I would have, I don't think I would have made as many of the connections, as many of the friends that I've made, and I wouldn't be on the path that I am now when it comes to acting and doing my own thing with acting. So I don't regret it. Yeah, maybe in certain areas I'm not nowhere near where I'd like to be, but at the same time, every mistake I've made, every choice I've made that put me in those rock bottom spots have shown me what I'm capable of, showed me the true strength that I have within myself, and just showed me that not everything is cut and dry. Not everything is going to keep you in the same place. As long as you have some kind of push, some kind of drive, anything that can help you get on track, even in the slightest, take advantage of it. Use it to your advantage. The people around you, the things that you have at your disposal, the tools that we have, the internet. The internet is a great place. There's a lot of things on the internet, a lot of advice on the internet. I'm giving you some advice through the internet. And, I'm not saying I'm like some kind of guru, because I have a long way to go myself. But just know that there's so many things that you could dive into, and so many things that you could spend your time doing. I had a lazy day today. I'm not going to lie to you. I was on call for a production. I feel kind of bad that I'm like missing out on work hours because I'm on call for this production and waiting to hear back from them, because they want these dates held in case I need to be called in. And I had a little bit of a lazy day. However, I did spend some time being creative, doing things that got my mind flowing, doing this right here. Yeah, it's a little late, but hey, it's still in the day. It's, the day's not over. Night's still young. So, I just know that today I made sure that I did some cleaning. I made sure that I got creative, and I made sure that I had some fun with it. And that's another thing, guys. Do not be afraid to have fun. You have to have fun. Like, stop. I hate people who, no, I don't hate people. I hate when people think that as an adult, you cannot have fun on a regular basis. I have fun at work. I laugh. I joke. I'm crazy. I'm wild. I do all these things, and people are like, something's wrong with you in the head. And I say, yes, it is. And you know what? I don't care. Because I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my life, and I bring smiles and joy to other people, especially when, they like to be open-minded and welcome my silliness, my craziness. And it just makes everything so much better, because I'll tell you right now, this world is way too depressing for me to be sulking around here and for me to not be weird. Blame it on the world. If you don't like my weirdness, and if you don't like my weirdness, I don't care. Blame it on the world, because the world is weirder than I am, and it's crazier than I am, and it's so much more depressing than I am, and I refuse to conform to that darkness. But anyway, I'm not going to hold you much longer. I said it was going to be shorter, only ended up being like a few minutes shorter. But I thank you for tuning in. I hope that I was able to give you a little bit of insight on just kind of like what I've noticed with my own journey to improving into a better self. And, hopefully I could inspire some of you guys. I've got a whole bunch of likes on TikTok Live, much more than the previous podcast. I really enjoy that. I appreciate you guys. For those that decided to watch my last podcast, subscribe, like, leave comments, absolutely love you guys and appreciate it as well. I hope that you can help bring other people to my channel just to, I don't know, get some exposure out. I like to spread the word and spread, my own little happy energy around. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and end it there. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything, so go ahead and do that for me. And I guess I'll see you guys on a later date. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you for letting me ramble a little bit. And I also, from like when my microphone got stolen, I did get 2 microphones this time. So I do plan on having some guests on my podcast and going other places and setting up the podcast. I did it once with my good friend Faith, and sadly, the things that I had to set it up and also trying to do like after post video editing and stuff like that was really wonky, and I didn't know how to do it at first, so it kind of got scrapped. Sorry, but I know how to do these things now, so hopefully I can start doing that more often. But yes, thank you again. Love you guys. Welcome to Perk Spot Podcast. Hope you have a wonderful night.